I'm back a lot sooner than I thought it was going to be. 3:13 p.m. on the Saturn clock, so put 3 minutes on it. So 3:19, and it's Tuesday. Well, actually, no, the iPhone says 3:17. Tuesday, July 11th, 2023. It's 7-Eleven, and I went out once, and I didn't go to 7-Eleven to get my free Slurpee. Whoops, I'm gonna do that. In fact, as much as that shouldn't be a priority right now, I'm gonna do that first. Oh yeah, because it's hot. It's hot. You see the sun. Those monsoon storms did not happen. I mean, we got some extra humidity going on, but yeah, monsoon storms didn't happen. All that cloud cover has evaporated. The sun is back to being a giant ball of fire trying to cook everybody, and 107 right now. The air conditioning in the Saturn, it's trying. It's trying. Yeah, a Slurpee would be, a free Slurpee would be amazing right now. So much progress since Sambo plopping on the couch. So next call was to Costco Visa service, which is a call I probably should have made last week. And I kept saying I was going to do it, and did I get it done? No. And then by the time I called, I got the automated thing saying that the payment had gone through. And you know, that's a little deceiving. And I've learned from this experience that when Costco says, you need to stop, dude. Did you see that guy just roll right out on the sidewalk and partly into the street? I mean, financially, it probably would have been the best thing to happen to me in a while had he T-boned my car, since I'm running video of it. And I most definitely had the right of way, no question about it, and was doing nothing wrong. But anyway, I'm tired of people drive like that. So, having me lose my damn train of thought. That's all right. I'm going to get me a free Slurpee right now because it's 7-Eleven. It said that the payment had gone through, and I want to say, because I remember saying that night, oh yeah, I need to make that call before midnight happens, because I think that automation goes through like in the wee hours of the morning. And then I fell asleep in Priscilla's bed. If memory serves, she didn't. I've complained about that enough in the last 2 weeks, because it literally happened on the same night 2 weeks in a row. Yeah, if she asked me to join her, come to her place on a Saturday night, no, not happening. Nope. Want to come to my place? Nope. Okay, see you when I see you. There's Phoenix Flower Shops. I miss working for those guys. Although my last day for them was pretty tragic. I can't recall if I told the story about that or not. In fact, I can't even recall if I was already doing my vlog at that time. I might have been. Anyway, at that time, based on what the customer service rep told me, who was amazing, by the way, I wish I could remember her name. Of course, the odds of me ever talking to her again are slim to none, but she was amazing, definitely above and beyond. And from accent, definitely American. I didn't ask her where she's at. She's definitely not in Phoenix. When I told her I've been dealing with the temperature, she's like, oh, good God. It's like, I would die. I'm like, yeah, it's like I'm going through hell, and I feel like I'm actually residing in hell right now. I have a lot more knowledge now about how that works, and I think I'm gonna share that with y'all. So if you have a Costco Visa card, it could be handy information for everybody else who's gonna be worrying a shit. But I just know if I recite it, this will help me with my retention on remembering how that shit works. So I'm in this situation again, it's handled a little better. Everything's gonna be fine though. In fact, everything's gonna be amazing. I'll explain that when I'm back here. You know what? It's really that hot right now, even though I'm just gonna be in there for a couple minutes. Sunshade, giant ball of fire in the sky, turning my car into an oven. I think that kid just got his free Slurpee. I don't know if he got in the video, probably not, but who doesn't love a free Slurpee, right? Diabetics, I suppose. I'll be right back. Everything's gonna be fine. Everything just kind of solved itself literally in the last like 15 minutes. But in the meantime, I'm getting my Slurpee because it's hot and it's free. Oh yeah, the word is out. You get a free Slurpee on 7-Eleven at 7-Eleven. They got a whole thing right out, ready for it. There's a steady stream of people coming in to get the free Slurpee. Some people are just getting the free Slurpee, other people getting stuff while they're here. Man, this cashier, he's got the 7-Eleven accent, but I see this guy here on a regular basis. He's definitely above average, and today he hooked me up. They're out of the hot dogs, which are on a promotional right now for 99 cents, and said he'd kick me down one of the Italian sausages for the same price, and the Italian sausage is not normally the same price, so that's... Man, it's these little things that are getting me through right now. Kind of restoring my faith in humanity. Really cute, chubby girl that walked in. There's a fine line between chubby and fat. She's on the right side of the line, at least for me. Walked in very, very scantily dressed. Kind of want to see her again when she walks out. She saw all the people in line with the Slurpees, and she's like, "Ooh, it's that thing." And I'm like, "Yeah, it's 7-Eleven. Get your Slurpee." She just lit up and went straight for the Slurpee machine. Oh man, there's just something about a Slurpee that just makes me like 11 years old again, in a good way. New flavor, Sprite Legacy. That's delicious. That's absolutely delicious. Come back out, cute, chubby, blonde girl. No, that's not her. Not that I would say no to that one, but just saying, that's not her. The blonde was notably cuter than that. Damn, I'm trying to get back out to the east. There's way too much traffic to try to turn left onto Oak. How about a little creative backroading? That's always fun. Ooh, a VIP taxi on the right. I wonder if I will ever be eligible to drive again for VIP taxi after destroying their Prius. I'm thinking probably not. And I got a feeling that the 4 points on my license probably is why I haven't heard back from Domino's. Because, yeah, I still haven't heard back from Domino's. I was offered another job on Winolo since I was at home. That's worth mentioning. I think it was an 8-hour shift starting at 8:30 a.m. Yeah, I'm rolling on like 3.5 hours sleep. I leave HelloFresh tomorrow morning. Yeah, I'm not even staying up long enough to get breakfast down at Siemens to Balls. I'm just taking my ass directly home and knocking the fuck out. Although... it's really, really, really tempting to see if I can make it from HelloFresh over to GYR3 quick enough to catch that food truck with the really good deep fried chimichangas for $1. Because man, do I miss those. And the guy that runs that food truck, really good people. I miss seeing him every morning. That was a good part of my morning routine. I got a Slurpee. Sometimes I forget that stretch of Virginia goes through because I don't have much cause to use it. But Virginia, the quarter-mile thoroughfare, as I've said many times, Phoenix is on a grid that goes back to its days of this all being agricultural farmland, and all of the separations of that property being based on the United States Geological Survey, which is all done in square miles, at least in the western United States. I know some of the older stuff in New England is a little wonkier and different, but all of Arizona is approximately done in square miles. Anyway, Virginia, worth noting, as it is the quarter-mile thoroughfare, quarter-mile mark between Thomas and Oak. Or if you happen to be on the west side, Thomas and Encanto. I would love to know why Encanto on the west side and Oak on the east side. I'm assuming it has something to do with Encanto Park and that whole residential neighborhood over there, which I should do a drive through there and get some good footage of that, because I don't think I have ever done that on this vlog. But that at one time was one of, if not the most upscale residential areas in all of Phoenix. And the houses that are over there, even though it's surrounded by straight up hood and homelessness, that little neighborhood right there, which I think is referred to as Encanto, is still really something to see. I'm thinking that's why that's called Encanto Boulevard as opposed to Oak Street, which is just Oak Street. But since it was that way on the west side, they've just continued it as Encanto. That's my theory. Anyway, I'd love to confirm that. But yeah, just continued that as Encanto all the way into the west side in Maryvale, where it is extremely hood at this point. So not only did Winolo from July 4th post, I mean literally within 10 minutes of me getting off the phone with the really amazing rep at Costco Visa, not only did what? Try this again. Okay, here we go. I put in the wrong dang PIN number. It's really hard to see the screen. It's really hard to see the screen because of the glare of the sun. Actually, I had to climb out the dang window. So yeah, not only did Winolo from July 4th post, but Winolo from last night posted. Wow. Talk about some unexpected quick payment. And I was told I'm looking at like 3 days. Yeah, as I said before, it's the uncertainty and not getting a straight answer that kills me more than anything. So, money, problem solved, because problem's all about money. As a very wise person once said, there's a lot of things that money can't buy, but it can buy me a boat, buy me a truck to pull it. Not that I want either of those things. That's just what a very wise man once said. All right, I got to get my ass back over to Chase, which is easier said than done from right here. I also need to be keeping an eye on my temperature gauge since I was idling through there, and it's hot as hell right now, and I still haven't resolved the temperature issue. I'm trying to think of the best way to do this. Ouch. Oh, I know the best way to stay cool. Slurpee. Yeah, so walk through options. I don't even, well, at some point I'd like to go in a little more detail on it because it was informative and I learned a lot from that conversation. And like I said, the customer service representative, once I got past the stupid robot, customer service representative for Costco Visa, which I think is through, I'm not 100% sure on it, but I think it's through Citibank. I really wish this was a full intersection traffic light with crosswalks right here. Especially the fact that there's no crosswalks right here just absolutely kill me. I keep saying I'm going to write an email to the city of Phoenix about it, just explaining like what a hardship it is for people that live in this large apartment complex to the north that are just wanting to walk across the street to the grocery store, that they have to walk over a quarter mile extra in 110-degree heat and potentially get heat stroke just to get to the grocery store that's literally across the street. I'd like to be able to drive straight through. I mean, that would have been nice for me able to just drive straight through and then go into Arcadia Crossings and then turn to the right and go into Chase. That would have been really nice. But I could see reasons for why traffic engineers would not want that to be an option. That said, they could always do like what the intersection is over at 31st Avenue in Peoria, where you can't go straight through north or south across Peoria on 31st Avenue. That intersection has been like that as long as I can remember. So I'm back, heading home. I don't know if there's any point in me trying to get a nap at this point in time, but man, huge load off my shoulders right now. How much do I have racked up towards next month's rent? Not much, but you know, it's only the 11th, so I still got roughly 2/3 of the month to make that happen, and things are going in a positive direction. So now I was kind of thinking to myself as I was coming out of the bank that mostly because I was checking to see where the last video got cut off, because it got cut off by overheating phone. Go figure. Was giving that guy mixed signals. I turned on my right signal and then I turned it off. I was trying to decide which way I want to get out. I think I'm going to go back through the back into Costco again. So I was thinking to myself, yeah, God, that took me Like it seemed like a lot of time elapsed going from 7-Eleven to Wells Fargo to almost making it to Chase where my phone overheated. And yeah, no shock. Obamaphone 3 overheated. I mean, imagine what a lost cause it would be if I was trying to record right now with my iPhone. But that thing gets just hot just trying to exist in this heat. Oh, and on that note, walking into the bank, I managed to drop my Slurpee and both my phones and my receipt from the bank. Thankfully, no damage to either screen and no damage to Obamaphone 3 from the Slurpee that got dumped on it. I didn't lose much Slurpee. It did kind of pain me that I lost any of it. That's all right. I'm gonna try to get another Slurpee or maybe 2 before going into work. Gosh, I remember one summer. I don't remember what year it was. It's been several years. I mean, shit. Lily's been gone for several years, but Lily and we went. Oh, I don't know how many 7-Elevens we went to. I want to say like 4. And just kept getting free Slurpees and driving around and getting more free Slurpees. It's amazing the things that'll make a little kid just happy as hell. And honestly, I was just as happy as if I was a little kid. So, yeah, that was good times. But yeah, so glad that didn't result in a crack on my new iPhone screen. As I mentioned earlier, I'm having some issues with the iPhone screen. It's doing the crazy ghost touches all over the place, which I kind of know a few things that could cause that. I absolutely trust that Al's going to Stampy has work and resolve that. But if I dropped it and shattered it, yeah, that's not an Al problem. That's a Dan problem. That was a bit of a near miss there. And hold up. I'm not trying to be a trash picker, but I just saw something out the corner of my eye that I think I want. I know it's not that dresser, but I like that dresser. That's a nice plastic blanket bag. I got just a blanket ready to go in it too. Yeah, bummed I couldn't pop in and I've already forgot that banker's name, but kind of was like peeking my head over there, and the security guy's like, he's not there. He's busy with a customer. It's like, come on, security. You know who I am. I'm one of the regular characters in this branch now. I'm a valued customer. I wasn't going to spit all that time. I was just going to like lean over his cubicle and hold all the fanned out $50 bill and go, problem solved. Because that's all I would have to tell him. Like he knows what's going on. He's my banker. But even the teller remembered me because I deposited what little bit of money I had left over from my karaoke show on Saturday, cash in my pocket, which was, I mean, I had more than $80 on me, but I'm not trying to be absolutely flat broke. No cash on me. Yeah, let's not do that. But oh my God, let's put that back up in there. I need to sunshade. It's like such a small step, but it's an easy one to forget, and the penalty for doing it is kind of extreme. Oh, other random thing worth mentioning. So checking to see when that video got cut off from Obama 3 getting overheated, as I was talking about the traffic light and how it's kind of, and the intersection is kind of odd on 31st Avenue and Peoria, in that you can't go across the intersection north or south on 31st Avenue. And that's done primarily because 31st Avenue, that's kind of a big, that's very much a business district. I mean, that's Metro Center to the south, which granted, as I've shown in semi-recent videos, is an area of suburban decay now and has a lot of vacancy and yeah, it's not pretty there anymore. But when that area was built in the 1970s, and when that area was thriving in the 1980s and 1990s, and even into the early 2000s, that was a prime area. That's why it's so rough for me to drive through it and see the state it's in right now, because that was where I lived. That was my home for well over a decade. Shit, well over 2 decades. Hello. Yeah, I moved out of there in 2000. Anyways, what I was trying to say is that intersection has been like that. I can remember it being like that in certainly 78, 79. Like I could vividly remember that. Because that's just, I've always been fascinated by that stuff, even since I was a little kid. And the unusual arrangement of the traffic light poles, been paying attention to that shit since I was a little kid. And yeah, the traffic pole arrangement's pretty odd there. Because they kind of set up the traffic light poles as sort of a physical barrier to make it even more clear that you cannot drive straight through that intersection. And it seemed absolutely absurd to me then, but now I get it, because that's a business district, major business district, and high density housing by Phoenix standards to the south. Lots of apartments there. As I was saying, like the last video I went through, it's like what used to be called affordable housing. Now affordable housing means something that's government subsidized. But back in the day, if somebody said affordable housing, they were talking about housing that was affordable. And you used to be able to get an apartment in there for like $600 a month. I mean, the apartments around Metro Center were a little bit more expensive than the apartments in other places because, believe it or not, in the 1980s and 1990s, that was a very desirable place to live. Very, very desirable place to live. Hell yeah, you can walk over to Metro Center. How cool is that? Of course, right now that's not cool whatsoever, but in 1988, that was more desirable than an apartment in downtown Phoenix. Way more desirable. There's nothing in downtown Phoenix you wanted any part of in 1988. But Metro Center? If you don't believe me, watch the last 20, 30 minutes of Bill and Ted's Excellent Adventure. That ain't San Dimas Mall in San Dimas, California. That is freaking Metro Center in North Phoenix. And that is not exaggerated. Well, I mean, it's exaggerated seeing, Napoleon and what was it? Mozart. I think it was Mozart and Joan of Arc and whatnot running through the mall. Like that was not a normal occasion. But all the other stuff that you see going on in the mall, even the aerobics classes. Oh yeah, no, that was Metro Center in the late 80s. That was the place to be. And those apartments, while more expensive than other apartments, were very affordable. And I had a lot of friends live there in and out over the years. Now, I never lived in one myself, but I certainly crashed out and had good times in a lot of those apartments. So more than I could name, more than I could, like, I mean, just countless. That was my neighborhood. That's where my friends lived. That was an affordable place to get an apartment. God knows how expensive it is now. And now it's not even a desirable area. But yeah, I get wanting to that kind of density and that kind of through traffic. The people that lived in the neighborhood, and it's a residential neighborhood with a school and a church. My dad went to the church. The church had a preschool attached that was used during the week as a preschool. And then, so a lot of that kind of stuff. That level of through traffic, yeah. I get why they didn't want all the traffic going in and out of there to use 31st as a thoroughfare between Peoria and Cactus. That would suck for the people that live there and the people that go to school there and the preschool and whatnot. Yeah, you don't want that kind of traffic near schools. I get it now. I didn't get it when I was a kid, when I was a teenager. Even when I was in my 20s, I didn't fully get it. I fully get it now. Anyway, so that's where I was going when the phone overheated. So the only other thing I want to mention, and this is small and stupid, but so yeah, I'm still picking up cans wherever I see them. It's kind of cleaning up the neighborhood, and it's kind of it adds up to a little bit of money at some point. And this one really caught my eye because, oh yeah, Baja Blast in a can. I want to know who the hell is selling that, because that is a hard can of soda to find. Generally speaking, you got to pay if you don't get it during happy hour at when it's $1 for a refillable medium at Taco Bell. That's an expensive beverage. So seeing that recent of a can tells me more likely than not somebody's carrying it. More likely than not that Fry's over there. I'm pretty broke, but man, I would love to get me a 12-pack of some Baja Blast. I think I'm doing good enough right now. I can reward myself with that. Anyway, I'm getting inside. It is so hot in here, and I got my Italian sausage, 7-Eleven. That was a little closer than I would like my financial issues to be. Just saying. But I suppose all's well that ends well, and this is why I'm staying on my grind and hustling, and I'm not giving up.